Hello everyone. So in this video topic is context switching. Now it is my request you to if you don't know about what is PCB and what are the state of a process, for example running, ready, blocked or waiting state. Okay, so this basic knowledge is prerequisite to watch this video. Okay, so going through this video, you must watch that two video, that is PCB and process state. Okay, so you can get the idea or understanding of this concept. Now context switching. Okay, switching, that means from for example, if CPU is executing process P1, okay, and if for example process P2 comes and for whatever reason CPU has to execute process P2, then CPU switch its execution from process P1 to process P2. Now it is executing process P2. Now that switching is called context switching, or I can say process switching. Okay, so let's see. Context switching means stopping one process and restarting another process. For example, I am executing my C program, okay, and in the background side I am also downloading one video. So for example, in my CPU, in my C program execution, if program requires user input, so at that time it may be possible that CPU just switch to the second process, okay, before until user give the input to the previous process, just like that. Whenever an event occurs, the OS, that is operating system, save the state of an active process and restore the state of new process. Now this state, that means it referring to the PCB. That means, for example, process P1's process control block, and if it needs to execute process P2, then first of all it will restore the state of process P2. Okay, and you know very well that in PCB important information are maintained. For example, in which state this particular process, what are the resistors that is used by this process, what are the input output resources that is hold by this particular process, like that. Okay, context switching is purely overhead because system does not perform any useful work while context switching. Now context switching is just overhead. Why? Because at that time CPU is performing nothing. Okay, we will see in next slide with detail. What are the reason for context switching to happen? Okay, so there are certain list. For example, when a process of a high priority comes in the ready state, okay, for example I am executing C program, okay, right now process CPU is executing my C program, and it may be possible that in my ready state some higher priority process come, then CPU have to first serve to this particular process, and at that time switching may be occur. When an interruption occurs, then the process in the running state, for example CPU is executing one process, okay, and due to some reason interruption occur, then also it may be possible that switching occur. When a transition between user mode and kernel mode is required, then also it may be possible that context switching. Okay, now steps performed by operating system during context switching. Now we are just telling that CPU execute from CPU is executing P1, and if P2 come and it is required, or it is requirement of a context switching, then CPU switch to process P2. That means CPU is allocated to process P2. But what are the actual steps performed by operating system? Let's see that. So these all are the state. Okay, so first step is OS take the control to interrupt and save the context of a running process in PCB. Now this step, let's just understand using one diagram. For example, here it is our operating system and process P0 and process P1. Okay, process P0 and process P1. Right now, which process is executing right now? So process P0. Okay, process P0, for example, it is my downloading process. Okay, for example, I am in the system, I am downloading one video of let's say operating system. Okay, so that process is ongoing, it is executed by the CPU. Now what happens, some interrupt or a system call. Okay, for it can be anything, it can be just like that. If a higher priority process comes, then also interrupt occur by the operating system. So CPU has to switch from this new arrival process. Okay, let's say process P1 comes with which is of higher priority. Okay, and process P1 is about to execute my C program. Okay, so what happened, CPU switch to CPU just held there, and operating system what will perform, it will save the state of process P0 into its PCB, that means process control block. Okay, and you have very well aware about, and PCB contain various information regarding particular process. For example, how much accounting information, for example, how much process is completed, what are the registers held by the particular process, what are the file or IO resources used by particular process, that all the information are saved into PCB0. Why it is needed? Because once this process is completed and again P0 needs to be executed, so that we have that track that process P0 was stopped at that time. Okay, its execution was stopped with these parameters like that. So save the state into PCB0, that means process control block of process 0. After that, reload the state from PCB1. Now CPU is going to run process P1. Okay, so it cannot directly just execute that process, but first of all it require to reload state from process control block of process P1. Okay, so this time, you can see this time CPU is performing nothing, that means it is idle. Okay, you can see over here it was executing process P0. Okay, but from this save into PCB0 to reload state from PCB1, this CPU is idle. Okay, now after that, once it reload PCB of process P1, after that CPU start to execute process P1. Okay, for example, it is executing C program, and for some time CPU just execute that process P1, and after some time again some interrupt or a system call occur, that means this process P1 needs to be stopped. Okay, for example, it may be possible that this process is completed or some system call just appear. For example, it is waiting for IO input. Okay, input output whatever. So again CPU has to switch to some other process. So what will be the next step? Save the state into PCB1. Now CPU is going to run some another process. So state of this process P1, it needs to be saved into PCB1, that means process control block of process 1. Okay, and after that reload state into PCB0, that means whatever the next process is arriving, that is going to be executed, that state needs to be reload in PCB0, that means process control block of process P0. Okay, so again in this time, in this duration, CPU is idle. Okay, so all over in which duration CPU is idle? So I can say in this duration CPU is idle, it is just executing this over here, it is not idle. Okay, so generally in this case and in this case CPU is idle. So again once state of this PCP0 is loaded. So P0 starts its execution. Okay. So these all are the steps of the operating system during context switching. It is just like that we are switching from P0 to P1. For example, if you are CPU and you have to execute certain process, then just simple think what you need. You need what are the resources, what it is performing, what was the state of that particular process, okay, what is the next instruction to be executed in that particular process. So first of all we needs to reload all that, and then only we can execute that particular process. Okay, so CPU is just doing that thing. Now let's see advantage. Context switching is used to achieve multitasking, okay, or I can say multiprogramming. CPU is executing multiple programmings, that is why from process 1 to process P2 context switching is occurring. But the disadvantage is overhead of the context switching time. It require time to save the state of current running process and to reload the state of new arriving process. Okay. So that's all about context switching. Okay, I hope you understood this concept, and if you have any query, please contact me, or you can mention your queries in comment box. Okay, bye bye.